Oh, right. So essentially, it's the mode that we have available to us now is harm as sensor mode. So the harm has to actually search for a specific type of radar before it can actually lock on to it. And so essentially when we get started here, just throw on some lights in your cockpit if you need it. Then go to air to ground master mode. That'll bring up the SMS page on your right hand MFD. Turn power onto the not Maverick, but Harm, and then on your left MFD, go to the weapon page. And then once you're there, we'll pause it again and we'll talk about the next steps. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
Cool. Here comes the unpause.
Overlord 1-1 on station at Bullseye 278 for 93,500.
I'm just going to throw on my autopilot to help me out a little here. And all that good stuff. So we won't worry about making custom tables for the harms right now, but what we can do is we'll just get everything set up for the tables that are supplied to us by default.
Okay. Alright, so I got power on and I'm on the weapon page.
Okay, I'll unpause it again. Cool. So now what I like to do is I like to bring up my T-pod on my right-hand MFD, and then I can zoom my pod way in and actually look at the SAM site while I'm shooting harms at it, so I can see when it shoots missiles at me and when my harms actually impact them. But that's maybe something for the next time, because that can be a little bit tricky to get that fully set up. But anyway, so right now on the weapon page, it should say not soy, right? On the middle of the page.
Right.
Cool. And so right now we're on table 1, which when we make the weapon page soy, that'll put that white box around it. And then if you go TMS left, that can cycle you through the different tables of missiles that the weapon is going to search for. And so the SA-6 that is going to be out in front of us, that's going to be on table 3 because it's an older style missile. The tables go range by default from newer, longer range systems like SA-11s and SA-10s and their associated support radars. Then to table 2 is going to be shorter range stuff like radar-guided AAA, Tunguskas, TORs, SA-8s, things like that. And then the third table is going to be like SA2s, 3s, 6s, older styles kind of SAMs. And we can see that the top OSB in the center is wide by default. And so the wide makes the search pattern for the harm sensor a little bit longer. So if we switch that into the center, because we know that the SAM site is just off of our nose at waypoint 1, then it'll dramatically reduce the amount of search time it takes to actually search for those specific radars. Next, right to the right of wide, we have search SRCH. If we click on search, we can then drill down even further into the table to actually get the harm to look for specific radars within that table. And that, again, reduces the amount of time it takes for the harm sensor to actually look for the specific missiles we want to engage. So I'll unpause it here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to table 3 for the SA-6s. We're going to switch from wide to narrow, or center, not narrow, center is the way it's labeled, and then search. And then in search, we're going to disable all other radars except for the SA-6. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and unpause it. Let me know when you have that good to go, and then we'll pause it again and talk about the next steps. All right. Here we go.
Table 3. Center search.
Yeah, and you basically just want to unhighlight all the missile except for the 6.
All right, done.
Cool. And so that SA-6 should be out there in front of us. Let me check the map here. Yep, it is out there, and it should be active.
So what do you have to click something to go back a screen, or?
Yeah, where it says HAS, click that.
Got it.
Cool. We've got a ways to fly here to get actually close to this SA-6. So just fly out towards waypoint 1. And then, just for giggles, so I can see it, because it's kind of cool, I'm going to bring up my TGP on my right-hand MFD. And then I'm just going to zoom it way in. I'm going to hit cursor 0 on it.
Yeah, I like flying the Hornet, 16 and all those, but I always get drawn to go back to the Tomcat.
Yeah, the Tomcat's a lot of fun, that's for sure. Alright, so hopefully that SA6 will come online and start trying to engage us soon. This radar is active, it's spawned in. So essentially what we should start to see is that the SA6 will start tracking us. We don't have an RWR spike yet, but we know he is at waypoint 1. So we'll just continue flying on in towards him, and then should pop up. There he is. He should pop up on our little weapon page there. Kind of looks like the crosshairs. And right now he's right in my very center of my screen, so I'm going to come off to the left a little bit so I can see it a little bit better. And you should see a 6A on your screen, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so that means that the SA6 is active. He's actively searching. When we see 6T, we know that he's actively tracking. So that way we can know if he's either shooting at us or if he's shooting at a friendly or something of that nature. So we'll go ahead. All you got to do now is just put your captain's bars somewhat near that 6A, and then go TMS forward. And you should be able to lock him up. Yep, he's trying to track me now.
I'm pressing forward, but it's not doing nothing.
And let's go ahead and pause it. Are you sure you have the TMS commands bound correctly? Because now this is the second.
That's what I was wondering myself.
Okay.
Let me go into controls real quick. All right, so press target management switch up, down, left, and right. Yeah, that's TMS up.
Okay. Make sure that your harm page is the soy, and then hopefully that'll do it. Sometimes. Okay. Well, let's unpause it and see if you can get it here.
You just press it once, or you got to press and hold it?
No, you just press it once.
Got it. All right.
Okay. Oh, he's shooting at me. So once you get it, just go ahead and fire the missile and call Magnum on the radio.
Magnum.
Nice. There it goes. And then just got to break away from this missile that's coming at us.
The one thing I missed in the Tomcat.
What?
Gesture calling out missile, break right.
Yeah.
You kind of get a little lazy to it.
Yeah, it can make you a little bit lazy. Alright, he's shooting at us again. I'm going to pause it here. And then if you kind of go to your weapon view, we can see that your missile is almost there.
Yep.
It's still at 830 knots of true airspeed, so it's probably going to make it there. I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but when you're firing a harm, the best thing you can do is to be as fast and high as you possibly can before you fire it. just so that way it can carry as much speed into that impact as possible. And when you fire a harm and it kind of goes at kind of a more of a flat trajectory, it tends to accidentally skip over the top of the radar and hit behind it about 100 yards. So the steeper of the incline the missile is going, usually the better the result is. But right now there's no lofting in the F-16. There is in the F-18, but hopefully that'll come soon. So I've got them. I'm going to go ahead and unpause.
It'll level out before I can go back into that weapon view.
Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and look at it with my targeting pod. See if you get him.
It's going to be short.
Actually looks pretty darn good to me. And kaboom.
Dead on.
Yep, dead on. It's always disheartening when you see them go short. Usually they go long. And that's that. So what I can do now is, now that we've destroyed that SA-6, I can spawn in a SA-3 relatively close to that same position. Yeah, so just build a little standoff range.
Search, head 3, take off 6.
And here comes the next site, SA-3. There he is. Alright, I'm going to come on in. So that's why the F-16 is a really good harm shooter, is because you can get really fast, really easy in the F-16. The F-18 struggles to get as fast as the F-16 is. Alright, so I'm coming in now, back towards waypoint 1. Try and zoom out my pod and see if I can find that SA-3. Alright, here's the SA-3. I've got it in the pod. It's not engaging it, just the search radar is out. So what's cool about this is you can exclude the search radar and just go after the actual SAM tracking radar. So that way you can hit the radar that really matters. The search radar doesn't really matter all that much. And because the SA-3 is a bit of an older missile, we're able to close on him a lot farther. There we go. Now he's engaging. And now we got SA-3T on the scope. And he's shooting at me. Here it comes. So I'm breaking away. And make sure to get your harm off on him.
Arm out. Magnum.
Nice. I broke the lock on that SAM like right away too. He's trying to lock me up again. SA-3s are still nothing to be, you still gotta respect them even though they're old. Alright, now he just shot at me again.
Looks like he's coming at me.
Oh yeah, is he coming at you now? Alright.
Yep.
Yep, there's another launch on you right now. So come hard to the right-hand side. Uh-oh.
Still up.
Alright, so you want to make sure that you are breaking away from the SAM site. You don't want to get closer and closer to it. And he got you.
Yeah, he got me.
Alright. I'll get some revenge. I'll shoot at him. So, when you have a SAM sight locking you up and trying to shoot at you like that, and you're trying to avoid those missiles, the absolute best thing you can do is to fly away from it, not fly at it. Looks like your harm hit something. I'm not totally sure what it hit, actually. So there's a Magnum from me. And so if you watch my jet, so see how I'm not still closing with him, I'm flying away from him now. And sometimes with SAMs, it's actually not great to fly directly into the ground to avoid them. Sometimes you want to actually go up, because they have to fight gravity to come up at you. And so see that big long turn that one SAM had to take to come after me?
Yeah.
He's done. There's no way he can hit me. And so we'll see what happened to my harm here. Yep, we took him out. So, yeah. So, little introduction to seed tactics there is just make sure that you want to stay away from the SAM. You don't want to go and make his job easier. You want to make his job harder, right? So,
Right.
So if you can stay out of the range of where his rocket motor is actually firing, then you're good to go. Because if you get into a range where he can hit you while his rocket motor is still firing, then he's really going to get you, because he's got, you know, way more energy than you do. So that's harms. It's really not that hard, is it?
Nah, it's actually real simple.
Yeah. I mean, the harm is sensor, the HASS mode is not quite as capable as other modes, but it still gets the job done for sure. So we'll go ahead and pause it, and then we'll go back and fire some things up for some Mavericks.